for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins now to throw on first down. And complete right side to Cook. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. To throw, Cousins. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Back 25, 54, 10. Watch the screen.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he works free. And he's taken down inside the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Freeman again, a first down carry. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes. Well, these two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. And the Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe the most memorable game between the two was a Falcons victory. That was in the NFC Championship game back in January of '99. Gary Anderson missed a field goal to potentially win it at the end of regulation. And then the Falcons. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins on target to Diggs. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Cousins to throw it. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Fielded at the 33. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Hey, echo.
First down. Here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. A toss to Cook. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins, eluding the pressure right. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 2 choke plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they go to work on a first and goal. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Good route here.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, they got the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down, Freeman. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Back 25.
Here we go.
21.
You got 3.
Ready, set.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 66 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Bring up 48.
Hey. Mike's 50.
Hey. Mike's 7.
Now Cousins. And Cook has it, left side. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
You better bring it. You better. Hey, exit. Let me know right.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
It's a gain of 4.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On 2nd down, Cook. He will push his way down to about the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. Bailey's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal, because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Smooth.
You're all mine, baby. You're all mine.
Mike's 57, 57's Mike.
Here we go. Let's bring it.
Here's Ryan. He's going to air one out for Anderson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 23 yards the pickup there.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A first down throw for Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Trying to lay one up deep. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get it.
And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, and interceptions, or maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Ready, ready.
Check, 55 to Mike. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know. Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. He's going to sling this deep, and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 44 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defenses.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Jahan, what is it?
I'm coming, baby.
Gun. Hey, Steamer.
45. Mike.
Five.
Now on 2nd and 16. Cousins dancing to his left. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Jahan, ready?
45. They gonna need some therapy.
Gun.
Check, 45 to Mike.
Cousins on 1st down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? Second sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get one. That's memorable. Two? Hello.
He dreamed about it. He thought about it.
Stephon Diggs past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. First down, here's the run with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the Falcons' 44-yard line.
Throwing is Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But now it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. Josh Doxson's got it complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Under 10, 10.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, He was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something. And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. And he coughs up the foot. And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Brings up second and 9 at the 47-yard line.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. He can't hang.
On second and 9, Cousins. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. But they're about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard.
Gone.
Again, it's Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, Abdullah. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A pass there complete to Westbrook. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to let it fly. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Ryan, pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
At the 45-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it again with Cook. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Quinton Williams on the stop. A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you.